21 Savage was smoking.
No Khaled hate on this podcast.
Yeah, the Grammys have just been getting shit on.
And then they're behind the killing. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
The One More Time Show, episode 3, brought to you by Guayaki Organic Yerba Mate.
The Yerbas. Yeah, who's our contact over at Yerba?
Ruth has been very generous to us over at Yerba Mate, over at Guayaki. Sorry. Sending all the cases of the Bluephoria.
Yo, I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little sleepy, man. I'm off the tryptophan right now. I just came from a Friendsgiving. This episode will drop post Turkey Day, so I figured, what better than to start off with a Thanksgiving food draft? We're gonna pick our top 5 picks for Thanksgiving foods.
Let's do it. Who goes first?
I'm kicking us off.
Well, there you go, I guess.
I'm going with the creamy, the cheesy, the delicious macaroni and cheese.
Come on, man.
If you didn't pick it first, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Dang.
Henry, what's your first pick?
It's a fantastic pick. Probably would have gone there myself, honestly, so I'm going to have to do a pivot here to the stuffing. We're taking stuffing first, and it's something that it's great food, and I don't know why we don't make it
year-round.
More of the year, yeah, you know?
Is there a restaurant that serves, was that like a Boston Market initiative that they tried to have Thanksgiving food year-round and it just didn't pan out because it was like a fast food type of version?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Because I was thinking about it as I ate my delicious Thanksgiving meal, and I was like, yo, why the fuck are we subjecting ourselves to this only one time of the year?
It's insanity.
Thank God that there's like Friendsgivings now where you can basically run it up like for a week straight.
Did you get any leftovers?
I did get a couple to go, plates for sure.
Plate tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart man.
So for my second pick, I'm going with my favorite dessert for Thanksgiving. I'm going with the pumpkin pie.
You're killing me, man.
Yes.
God.
Man, my draft is shaping up nice.
I love pumpkin pie.
Me too.
Absolutely. All right, we'll stay on the sweet kind of route here for round 2. Give me sweet potato. Can I just take all sweet potatoes?
Yeah.
Pie, casserole, souffle, however you got to put it. We're going to lock down the sweet potatoes since you locked down the pumpkin pie there.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
For my third pick, most people maybe favor the turkey when it comes to Thanksgiving meats because it is Turkey Day. I'm going with the honey baked ham for my third pick.
Fire pick. I love your team.
Amazing.
I love your team.
Man, we're going to the championship this year.
This is tough, man. All right. So for pick 3, we're going to go mashed potatoes, and it seems basic.
For real? You already went with sweet potatoes, now you're going with the original mashed potatoes?
The difference is the gravy, because if you got a good gravy, it's going to turn up these mashed potatoes. Everyone has to go crazy on the gravy for Thanksgiving. If your gravy's not good, your meal's ruined, in my opinion. And you can't host Thanksgiving for at least 5-year probationary period. I think they should get.
It's in the rule book.
The gravy, absolutely.
Yeah,
it is.
For sure. It's not bad when you add the gravy to the mix.
Indeed.
I guess mashed potatoes and gravy can be one pick. I was gonna get a little, I was gonna be a stickler and say like the gravy could have been a, separate choice.
You can't have the mashed potatoes without the gravy.
That's true.
Sorry.
That's blasphemy. So I'm going with the 4th pick of the Thanksgiving food draft. I'm gonna go with. Oh, this is tough, but I'm going with the hearty cornbread.
I give up. I don't even want to finish this.
It's too good.
Everything I'm about to pick, you've named. It's unbelievable.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's your 4th pick?
Oh my goodness, man. You took the cornbread. Is there another type of bread in Thanksgiving? What is it? I got the stuffing. All right, we'll go with the dessert as well. We'll take the pecan pie.
Pecan versus pecan. What do you say? Pecan, clearly.
I think I actually go back and forth.
It's a huge debate here in the South.
Pecan.
Pickin' pie.
Peckin' pie. That's a third one.
That is the worst.
Let's not get too deep into that.
No. Okay, wow. All right.
Last round.
5th and final pick. I'm going with the broccoli and cheese casserole. Holy shit. My lineup is stacked.
You're stacked, for sure. Turkey is not going to save me now. No, it's not.
How sad is it that Turkey's not making either of our top 5?
I'm going to take it just based on the clout that it's going to bring and the attention it's going to bring to this program. We're going to get in a lot of dollars. We'll have some high-profile games with this team bringing in Turkey, but we all know the truth. Turkey's not he's not an all-star, you know what I'm saying? He's not taking you to the bowl.
For sure, for sure. Hey, I gotta think my team took that one, man.
I got to give that one to you, my friend.
For sure.
Fantastic
Finally, out of
picking.
all the drafts, I feel like we've done either on camera or off. Like,
And
I'm finally getting one.
All it took was for you to just steal first pick without any regard, no coin flip, nothing.
No, it was my idea, so I feel like I got to go with it. So,
enough.
in other news, we are fresh off the press with the Grammy nominations.
We are.
There's a lot of controversy. It feels like there's been so much controversy surrounding the Grammy Awards.
People are pretty upset with the Grammys these days, and I kind of am too. I kind of understand it. It's just so political and stupid to some degree, but it is still like the highest honor, like formal honor you can receive, I think, besides maybe a diamond certification, which I was actually going to talk about too. Post Malone, shout out. Youngest artist with 5 diamond singles.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sunflower just went 17 times platinum. It's like you're eating off that one record for the rest of your life.
Your kids.
You could quit music, sell all of your masters except for Sunflower, and you would probably be okay.
Be fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, let's talk about the hip hop album nominations.
Was there a time though? Let me just ask you this. Was there a time, because I've only been back into the music scene for the last few years, right? And since I've been back into it, the Grammys have just been getting shit on.
For sure.
Was there a time when everyone was happy-go-lucky with the Grammys and thought they were doing a phenomenal job? Or has it always been one of those things, it's like a love-hate where it's just to your point, it's the award you want, but then you just shit on it forever? Has it always been like that? Do you know?
I would say that it's been a pretty steady, if you made a graph of satisfaction with the Grammys by the general public, it's a pretty straight line down, just a steady.
I feel like it really took a
diagonal.
steep incline this last year.
I would say Drake making the speech, talking at the Grammys, saying y'all don't need this. That was pretty monumental as well.
Yo, how do you think the Grammy programming director took that?
They did not invite him back, or he didn't go back. I don't know. He doesn't really submit music for it anymore, I think, is my
understanding. For sure. So obviously, best hip hop rap album of the year. The 5 nominees were Future, Jack Harlow, DJ Khaled,
Kendrick, and Push.
And Pusha T.
Yeah.
You and I were talking about this off camera at an event we were at, this past week. And I mean, we both thought that if we're going for real with the best rap album, we both were kind of in agreement that it's got to be Pusha.
I think Pusha.
The album was so great.
Absolutely.
So rap.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, I mean, Khaled specifically, and I guess Jack Harlow, are catching a lot of grief for the fact that they were in the running.
Those two are catching the most flack by far, just from comments that I've read. And I was arguing with a buddy at that event about DJ Khaled. He's kind of just bashing DJ Khaled. What does he do? He's not even on the songs. He's not making the beats. Why is this guy nominated for best rap album? In my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, to win the Grammy for best hip hop album, you have to make
a hip hop album,
the best hip hop album. And he made a great hip hop album in my mind.
I loved God Did.
God Did is great. I mean, just the songs on it. No, they're not that connected. They don't tell some crazy story, but they're hits, and they have massive artists on them, and they're good songs. So to me, that is producing an album. People get the producer thing twisted. We talk about that all the time. He produced a good album, and I think he deserves to be there. Should he win? Probably not. I would give it to Kendrick or Push for sure. I liked Future's album, but I think he has better. I wouldn't be pissed if he won. The only one I would be really upset if he won was Jack. I'm sorry, but that album was...
Sorry, Jack, but...
That album was... it's put me to sleep, man. I don't remember much about it. And I gave it a couple listens all the way through.
Yeah, it was, I mean, you and your friend were pretty heated about this whole DJ Khaled thing.
Got into it.
Yeah, and I mean, I was obviously standing by you as far as what he does is second to none. I mean, you can't take the flowers away from DJ Khaled.
You can't.
I mean, his ability to connect the dots by bringing in super producers like Tay Keith, who's just at the top of his game. I think he is the #1 Billboard producer for the last 3 weeks running.
He might be.
He is. I'm pretty sure I just saw that post. And so you take him and then you take the artist that he's able to marry up with these super producers, and then to bring this project to life. These artists are, when Khaled calls, they come.
They answer the phone.
And they show up and they come cut the records in his studio a lot of the times. I think most of the records, if not all, are cut in his home studio even.
Yep.
He is hands-on with the making of the album.
Absolutely he is.
And so I do think that the award's not best rapper.
No.
It wasn't the award.
No.
To your point, it is best rap album. And if he is the orchestrator and his name is on it and it's coming from his record label and the advance that he has with that label and his money, his marketing dollars, whatever, he should be in the running.
I think so. Yeah, is he screaming on top of a lot of the records and kind of annoying? Yes, absolutely. No doubt about it. But it is a skill to put together a record like that with the type of people and the type of producers, just everything about it. I mean, and they're good songs. They don't necessarily match up into a groundbreaking album, but you can't say it's not one of the best albums of the year.
And for me, Khaled's story is just also incredible.
It's inspiring.
I mean, it's so inspiring, man. I mean, he's put in the work, bro. Yes. I mean, from just grinding, DJ gigs, right, in the clubs, breaking records in the traditional DJ sense of the word. Mm-hmm. Then obviously he starts, getting into mixtapes and whatnot, right? And then obviously turning that into like, hey, I've got relationships with artists. I know what sounds good. I'm able to break records. Why the fuck am I not putting those pieces together and being compensated and recognized for it?
I was equating it to DJs like DJ Drama dropping mixtapes back in the day. No one was bitching at him that he was getting these artists together, putting them with producers, talking on the records.
We ate that shit up.
Loved them. That was an era I missed so much, and now it's coming back. You see a lot of artists dropping with Drama now, but just, how is doing it on a major label, full album with the even bigger stars any different? It's the same thing.
But I guess, would you have felt some type of way if DJ Drama would have been nominated for a best rap album?
I would have felt the exact same. If the project was one of the best projects of the year, I think it should be there.
I agree, man.
There it is.
I agree. So I am
Stop hating on Khaled.
Yeah, because I love Khaled's energy. And
no Khaled hate on this podcast.
Yeah. Anywho, Kodak Black was literally saying that 21 Savage was smoking dick. He said smoking dick. What? By saying that Nas is irrelevant. How you feel about that? Is Nas relevant in today's climate?
Obviously, Nas is relevant. That's ridiculous. Is he in his prime? Are people talking about him as much as they were 20 years ago? No.
Would you say that 21 Savage is smoking dick?
No, I would not
Would
say
you put it that way?
I would say that's a bit of an exaggeration. I mean, bro, look at King's Dead and King's Dead 2, right? They were huge. At least one of them got nominated for a Grammy. I think the first one. I mean, he's out here, man. He's always been a great rapper, and he's still making good music. So yeah, is he older now? We talked about this being
older.
We talked about this being a young man's sport, maybe. So he's going to get the hate from the YB and SoFago fans, but no, I wouldn't say that's smoking dick. No.
Yeah, it's interesting as far as relevance. It's a subjective word, I guess. What do you mean relevant? Do people still call him one of the best rappers still alive?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
No one's denying that Nas is still one of the greatest rappers of our generation, right? Pushing the 90s and into the 2000 era, right? So I don't know, relevance, does he have a song that's at the top of the charts now? No, but I don't know that is what, you know what I mean? Relevance, I just feel has a subjective
it absolutely does.
Term.
What is relevant? There's still, I'm sure, people out there that are just the biggest Nas fans, and they're always waiting for Nas, and he's relevant to them. I bet you that. You know what I mean?
And I just love the fact that Kodak said that 21 was smoking dick. I was just I don't know what that, I know what you mean, but I don't know what you mean.
I would have thought riding dick would have been a little
more, smoking it.
All right. Well, shout out Kodak. He's always
saying something reckless shit. But I was okay, I stand with you.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I saw Young Dolph's Instagram. They posted about Key Glock's new album dropping, and there were some comments that were upset that they were still using his Instagram. And I was kind of going back and forth in my head. I see what they're saying, but also I feel if Dolph was alive still, or if we could talk to him now, from the dead, he would want that to happen still. It's his artist. It's their label mates, their best buds, their longtime collaborators. I would think he would want that, to happen still. So do you think it's weird that they're still using Dolph's page posthumously to promote other projects? And even actually, they just dropped a Dolph song, and they were promoting that. That's probably a little more okay, but.
Yeah, the whole posthumous even releases thing is always a big question mark in my head, right? I'm seeing Juice WRLD, of course, still dropping songs on his, Spotify, obviously, and it's going to whoever is now collecting, money from his estate, right? And that always makes me feel kind of, because just knowing the business, knowing that this is a business, there isn't people, no offense, that are like probably doing this out of the goodness of their heart, that people just want this music to be heard. Like, no, they want to exploit the music from a financial perspective.
Yes.
And so to your point, using Dolph's page as a promotional mechanism for Key Glock's project, I think that that's tough, man.
It's not like he had a will where he specified.
That is tough.
You have to think that Juice would still want some of his music to be heard, but we don't know.
Exactly. We don't. And I do think that given the relationship, it would be weird if just like Dolph's like major label was like posting like just anyone that's on the label type of shit. But I guess given the, close-knit relationship that existed, prior to Dolph's passing, I feel like I see it being a little more stomachable.
Yeah.
I do still think that like there's gotta just be better, you can still promote the album in other ways. I don't know. It feels kind of weird, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. It created a lot of controversy. That was a heated comment section. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, damn. But to your point, I mean, Dolph would probably...
He would absolutely
He
be
was
okay.
clearly already reposting
Of course.
Key Glock shit when he was here. So to think that he would have just, I'm dead now, don't do it. I don't think that would have, that would be his like stance posthumously, right? But I don't know. I mean, it's...
And then it's like, where's the line? Like, oh, he also worked with this artist a lot, but less so. But they were good friends. Post him too. Like, now it's getting into like, how much is too much?
To your point, I think that, if I'm just a matter of fact kind of guy, I think that the facts would be whoever inherited the ownership of that page, they clearly have the say.
Who does an Instagram go to when
no
someone dies?
idea.
What is that policy?
Because to your point, I'm not sure that's a very specified thing in the will.
Yeah.
Now, the record label contract might own that shit in the label. I don't know. They're probably covering. They're probably covering their ass now, man. I mean, rappers are clearly, dying in a ridiculously exponential fashion, right? So it's like you'd think that the labels, who once again these are banks basically giving out loans, you'd think that they're probably covering their ass with a lot of this violence that's out there, right? I mean, I don't know.
And then the conspiracy theorists are going to come out and say they get control of the artist's pages when they die, and then they're behind the killing. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus. What else has happened in the headlines, Henry?
How do you know how do you know like if car people are fucking you or not?
Oh my God. This is like, can I be honest?
You don't.
Well, you don't. I asked my dad straight up. I call my dad immediately, as like childish as that sounds.
Is he knowledgeable?
He's just one of those good old boys that like at least puts on this facade that he knows like what's up.
Yeah.
And I just would blindly trust my dad versus blindly trust the mechanics, right?
It's tough when you go in for an $80 oil change and they're like, yeah, here's $1,000 worth of shit you really should do right now. And I'm like, then they're like, do you want to do any of this? I'm like, no, let me take a breath and look at this and talk about it on the podcast first.
Yeah. And then you actually don't evaluate it for real. Like you're going to just keep rolling the dice.
And then my brakes are going to give out and I'm going to crash and it's going to cost way more for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of the stuff, I don't know what it actually means, nor do I know what it actually does, nor do they do a good job of explaining what it does, nor do they do a good job of explaining the risk that's associated with not getting it fixed.
Correct.
So that's the tough part.
They say the 3 things you need in life: an accountant, a lawyer, and a freaking mechanic.
That's very true. So to wrap this up, please shout out our sponsor one more time, Henry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Guayaki. We love your products. It's a clean energy in the form of a delicious tea. You guys get it right every time. Keep the cases coming. We love you.
Shout out to Ruth.
Ruth, holding it down.
Appreciate you, Ruth. Until next week, Henry, what are we doing?
Get out of here.
We're getting out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Pop that shit like one more time.